morning is Chubby Wood. Today is the first day of September. The year is 2025, and we are with Professor Fred Ogola in studio, and we're going to be talking matters of politics. Before we start, Professor,
Yes,
how have you been since last when you were here?
things are doing well. I
Mm,
mean, what we're happy about is that we are still hearing our old politicians discussing cake ideas,
mm,
which means that politics is due for disruption.
mm,
When you see yourself playing yourself like a record player,
mm.
it means that we are going to move from record player to a flash disk. Remember the thing which used to play?
If not a floppy disk.
It's not a floppy disk. Yes. So I'm very happy
Yeah.
that because I have ambitions for 2027.
Mm,
When you see they are doing the same old,
yeah.
then you can tell actually there are signs for it. But of course, the weekend ended on a low note when Arsenal lost to
Mm,
Liverpool.
yeah.
I'm seeing some people saying there was a penalty, there was no
Mm,
penalty, and all those kind of arguments. But I'm
yeah.
sure for you, you are happy at
Yeah.
this morning.
You know me, I honestly do not care if Arsenal lost.
Yes.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Just to put it out there, I
yeah.
don't care if you lost.
And for me,
Uh,
this serious because when I was traveling from Nanyuki,
mm,
then my wife told me it's heartbreaking.
mm,
So when you are both Arsenal supporters, your wife is Arsenal supporter,
yeah,
so everything gets very cold.
mm,
The night ends very cold.
yeah,
But of course, we are looking forward to a sunny morning.
yeah.
Yeah,
I hope it never comes. So,
yeah.
yeah, I hope that sun never shines on the Emirates Stadium. But
Yes.
anyway, we have a couple of stories to tackle and a lot of political happenings. And there is a story that I pick interest in, and probably you might have a thing or two to tell us why you think that. How the standard is calling them cronies of the government that
Mm.
they are refusing to be relieved of their duties. Now, the story in the standard is unmoved by outcry. Now, they have survived scandals that would have ruined lesser men, from the looting of billions under from the looting of billions under their watch to questionable oil imports, a high death toll from accidents and serious human rights abuses, and of course, a loss of money. And these three gentlemen are Cabinet Secretary of Interior, Kipchumba
Yes.
Murkomen, Aden Duale of Health, and Kipchirchir of Trade and is it Trade? Is it? Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Why do you think, and the standard are saying loyalty is the only way for them to keep their jobs, not scandal, is not just any other scandal, as they are terming that the cost of doing business. Your thoughts?
Yeah. You see, Alan, this country has never ruled by people who love Kenya.
Mm,
This country has never been ruled by people who care about people.
yeah.
When you see politicians have been given undue, what the so-called freedom and rights,
Mm,
when a few people have elevated level of rights and freedoms
yeah.
that they enjoy and privileges, it means that very many more Kenyans are going to be denied more. Look at them. All those people you mentioned now are billionaires.
Yeah.
When they came to the cabinet, the first time they came to government, they were actually struggling even to manage a campaign.
Mm,
A campaign for an MP would be something like 50 to 60 million.
yeah.
Some of them that was difficult. Now they can. I'm hearing that some of those people nowadays can buy property 100 million in cash.
Mm,
Yes. Even now, John Badi the other day bought a property worth 100 million in
yeah.
cash. When you look at Ruto's cabinet, now Ruto's cabinet is worth around 28 billion shillings. So if you put the cabinet
Cumulatively.
cumulatively,
Mm,
how many Kenyans even know what a billion is? Alan, do you know that a billion is a thousand shillings times 10 million Kenya shillings? So it means that if you have a billion, you can give in your village
mm,
10 million people 1,000 shillings each. That's how rich you are if you
yeah.
have 1 billion.
Yeah.
And if you have 1 billion, when you spend 20,000 shillings per day, you can spend that money for 70 days. If you are not working, you just wake up and you spend 20,000 shillings a day and you go to bed.
Yeah.
So what can you do with 20,000 shillings a day? The most expensive lunch in town is around 5,000, isn't it? So what else are you doing with money? Maybe fuel is, even if you take an Uber, but I'm sure with that one you don't need the Uber. So I'm trying to say that some people are living beyond their means.
Yeah.
They're living above their means. To live above your means or beyond your means you have to live on somebody. Lazima unyonye mtu. You must be able to suck somebody.
Yeah.
So you are sucking money from Kenyans and then you are getting this right. And I think, Alan, in all honesty, these things start with the voter. When you vote for somebody just because you got money, and then after that person has been voted and they become very powerful, they continuously give you money, and then you think that you're getting something. This completely, Kenyans should change their mind. And I hope that in 2027, Kenyans are going to look at it differently. Because if you look at what happened, for example, the G2G oil you talked about, isn't it? That was a flop. And there was a corruption there. There are some of these guys who have been in charge of interior, shoot to kill. Those things are actually unconstitutional. Now look at Shah, money swindle and completely gone by the wind.
Yeah.
All these things in other countries will not work. Alan, do you know why Johnson had to resign from being the Prime Minister of UK?
Yeah, because he partied during COVID-19.
Imagine organizing a party only makes an entire Prime Minister
Step
to
down.
go home.
Yeah.
For us here, people dead, they're in offices. Billions of shillings lost, they're in offices. And people should not just look at billions of shillings lost. When Shah loses money, the way they're losing money, it's not just that they lost money. Some people have died in hospital because they have no medicine. So it's indirect murder. And I think that should be somebody should come to Kenya really as a head of state that would not want to see those things. I'm telling people that if I was president today, I would ensure either the CS or the PS is a health economist. Because the problem affecting healthcare in Kenya is health financing. So I know the PS is Olunga, he's a surgeon. He has no idea completely, he has not done anything on health economics. That's when I was a professor in Strathmore Business School. I introduced the Institute of Healthcare Business in the business school, and we had a topic called health economics. How can you fix health financing? Without financing health, people are just gonna die. Now these guys are only talking about tenders. They're just talking about how to make money off the citizens who are paying this money. But they're not looking for how the citizens can actually get benefits. They don't have any clue how this can happen. Remember that day we discussed with you about around 2.4 billion shillings worth of medicine that expired. And the CS Aden Duale was looking for 600 million shillings to throw away that, dispose of that medicine. And we are in this country and no one feels anything. Can you imagine that, Alan, when I was campaigning to become the MP of Kenya, there's a time I told people in a certain village that I'm going to pass there to say hi. And of course they asked me, when you pass to say hi, how much money are you going to give us? So I told them, I promise I can give you 50 shillings each, isn't it? Imagine they woke up in the middle of the night. I felt so ashamed of myself that someone would wake up in the middle of the night to come and queue to receive 50 shillings from politicians. Now, that is time spent on poverty. Now, forget about they are waking up to take 50 shillings. Can you imagine now that 2 billion shillings have been lost and have disappeared, yet in a village, people can wake up to pick 50 shillings? Meaning that, look at how poor, how poverty has ravaged some of those people. Somebody is taking 600 million to dispose of medicine that could have helped people. And in a certain village, somebody wakes up to pick 50 shillings. during the campaign, now they are saying that now that 50 shillings has gone to 200 shillings now. So just even 200 shillings is very little money now, isn't it? How many items, Alan, can you buy with 200 shillings? If you leave home with 200 shillings in your pocket, will you feel safe? But you see, this is what these people can actually queue for hours and hours to take. Yet some of our politicians blow away 600 million, 2 billion shillings. So what I want to say is that this government of Kenya Kwanza, and I'm sorry to say, Alan, did not come on this platform based on competence, and they don't run on the platform of anti-corruption. If I'm wrong, look at their manifesto. They never mention anything about anti-corruption. They never mention anything about competence. But the only thing that is making this government go down again is the same thing. Gross incompetence and gross corruption. And I think that, Alan, is good for us to explain to Kenyans that in as much as people think corruption is good, corruption has a net negative impact on life. Because if you are bribing and also you are being bribed, in the end, you are bribing more than you're being bribed.
Yeah.
And then the impact it has affects you in terms of your values and in terms of your position in society, accurate details. So according to me, the holy cows in this government are way too many. In fact, when people talk about the shares discussion, maybe these people hold more shares than even the president, maybe. Because why is the president not able to take action on them?
Because that
or
was
maybe he's making money for them.
That was going to be my next question. Because when you look at let me call a spade, the blatant mistakes that not only the cabinet secretaries that are in the Standard this morning, the blatant mistakes that has been made by a series of government officials, and the president isn't moving a single finger. And how does he feel as that is in tandem with what? Because you have to look at what I'm doing to validate what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if they are not the same, then try make us understand what really the thought process of the president.
There's something I learned when I was a seminary. I wanted to be a priest. I think I told you before.
Yeah.
We were told, follow me as I follow Christ. Meaning that if you see your boss moving towards Christ,
that's where you go.
That's where you go. Maybe Muslims can say, follow me
as I follow Allah.
Allah or Muhammad.
Muhammad, yes.
It? Maybe Buddhists can say that you follow me as I follow Confucius, isn't it? But the point I'm trying to draw here is that we need a good example.
Yeah.
And if the leader of the country is not a good example himself, isn't it?
Even though those around him.
Yes. For example, if the president says, this government is corrupt, we are in the cabinet meeting, and the president says, this country is corrupt, isn't it? Then one cabinet asking, Mr. President, can you throw the first stone? He can't throw the first stone. Tell me any single person in Ruto's government who can throw the first stone. Tell me any single person who is not corrupt in Ruto's government.
Of course, they will say until they are proven.
And then tell me, whom do you think is highly competent in that government? Because I've told you, this government came into power with a grossly incompetent team, isn't it?
When I think when we talk about competency, I feel there is a handful of competent people. But remember, in our conversations, we've always said that they just decide to switch off and say, okay, this is the place that we are in. We're just going to play by the book.
No, Alan, competency doesn't mean knowing. Also, your values, what you stand for.
So probably they aren't incompetent in education and in ability, but they are incompetent in values.
Competence must be connected together. You cannot separate them.
Yeah.
I've heard people like saying marriage as life, which is only a Sunday. Some of us are just Sunday Christians. Someone says my corporate life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then my social life. Then my family life.
It's just a holistic life.
Which life do you have? How many lives do you have?
I am a cat. I have 9 lives.
Have one. So you see, there must be what you call congruence in life, isn't it?
The interconnectedness.
Yes. Like you see, today I arrived slightly later than I actually arrived.
Yeah.
Because today I was supposed to take my son to change school because I'm not happy with the school where he's going. So there's a policeman who stopped me.
Yeah.
And my son is sitting next to me on the left. And he has heard me speaking on TV saying, Ruto government is corrupt, isn't it? Then I crossed a line, which it was my fault, isn't it? Then policeman tells me, stop there. And imagine, I need to drop my son in school, then come here.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, Alan will be calling, Fred, where are you? So I was seeing you all over the place.
Yeah.
And God told me, just be calm. I told the policeman, because I cannot give this person a bribe.
When your son is seated.
My son is sitting here. I have to pay that price. But normally I don't give, isn't it? So I told the policeman, this is the circumstances. There was an error in decision making. Because when I woke up again, somebody blocked my gate because somebody was bringing in a car inside. So I tried to explain to him. Then he looked at me, and then he saw honest person on my face. He told me to go. He never asked me for money. So I think some people also give because they are too much in a hurry to give. Sometimes just say, maybe if you called me, I could have told me, Alan, I'm held here.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to say that life can never be like that. I remember there's a time when I was interviewing somebody in a board meeting.
Yeah.
I was giving a recommendation for someone to go get a very high level job. So I was told, Fred, you used to be so-and-so's boss. What would you be able to allow us to hire him to be a CEO of this organization? This guy was a good guy. He's a brilliant guy. But I said that in spite of being brilliant, when I worked with him, I never saw how much he used his brilliance to the benefit of the organization. So you can tell me these people's qualification. Go back in history.
Yeah.
Have they ever used their brilliance to help Kenyans? Like now, let me talk about here.
Yeah.
People say the president is a very intelligent man, isn't it? Yes, he is intelligent. Having won the presidency in the first term is intelligence, isn't it?
Yeah.
But how has he used this intelligence to make Kenya a better country? You understand me? Professor Kithure Kindiki, the next in command, is a full professor of law, isn't it? When he was the CS for Interior, he was saying some things
that aren't
unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So then you ask yourself, what is a competence? Competence cannot just be
it exists in oblivion.
No, it must exist with your values. If Alan, your wife tells you are a competent husband, you cannot just be because you are brilliant, you can do a show.
Yeah.
Are you faithful? Isn't it? Are you caring? Isn't it? How good are you as a father? How a good example are you? Competence can only be because we are intellectual beings, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're also spiritual beings. Isn't it? We're also physical beings. So you must be competent also spiritually. Like now people talk about CBC, isn't it? They're talking about the intellectual conscience, isn't it? Emotional intelligence, isn't it? Spiritual intelligence, also physical intelligence. That you should at least do an activity, you can play football, that's physical intelligence, isn't it? Those are saying that at least you should relate with some God, some kind, respect to some being. Yeah. You should be having good manners. Yeah. So when you're hiring somebody, Alan, would you just look at the fact that I was in a HAL Alliance, isn't it? Then I was in Moi University. Yeah. But my attitudes, my manners, you cannot gauge. Competence must be put together. So Alan, I'll dedicate to you a book. This book is called Giving Voice to Your Values. Yeah. Giving voice to your values means that what you believe, you carry them to work. When you carry what you believe to work, then people can see the values in the voices, how you interact with people. Yeah. You say, no, guys, we cannot take a shortcut on that. You are giving voice to your values. And you only do that by your activities. Yeah. So for me, competence is not just knowing. Competence is also doing. Yeah. Virtue comes from repeated good behavior. Vices comes from repeated bad behavior. Yeah. And your virtues comes from your values, and they form part of your competence. Alan, yes.
Yeah, that is a whole lesson of psychology and good social mannerisms. Yeah. I want us to take a quick break. Yeah, when we come back, there is a meeting that is happening. If not right about now, it is supposed to happen today. County governments are being told to procure on a particular platform.
Yeah.
And the president yesterday said, if you do not want to procure here, then you can as well resign. Yeah, those are the words of Professor. Crisis over county tenders and new jobs. Governors have convened an emergency meeting today to address the stalements over hiring 7,414 medics and the Treasury's electronic procurement system, which has stalled county budgeting. Now, but the president is breathing fire and is saying if any government official who is not willing to use it can resign.
Alan, what a shame, because there are a lot of issues wrong with that statement. First of all, what needs to grow the economy, like hiring doctors, medics, let me just call it human resource for health generally, the president ignores. But equipment you want to bring. This procurement you're doing, these tenders you're doing, do you know that most of the time that when there's no right personnel to be able to operate and interpret the equipment diagnostics, then equally there's no healthcare. Because if you don't want to hire the expert, who is the one going to administer the medicine? Who is going to really take care of the equipment? You know, I saw a hospital whereby there's somebody who knows how to operate a machine or a scan, but there's no one who knows how to interpret the results. So equally, the patient doesn't get the right information. But if you get the person who knows how to interpret, but you get somebody who knows how to operate, then the machine also lifespan is in threat. And this is what happens in most hospitals. Either no interpreter or no operator. We need both an expert in operating the equipment, at the same time an expert in interpreting the equipment. And this is why we talk about the human resource for health. So this is completely ignored. Why are we only focusing on tendering for equipment? Because there's a cut, isn't it? There's a cut, people are making money out of it.
And under what jurisdiction does the president have to tell counties on what to use for procurement and what not to use?
There is none, because if you go to transitional clauses, transitional clauses are clauses that defines the devolution, how power was actually awarded to the county government from the national government to county government. So why is the president still dictating to these counties where and how to do procurement? Remember that this country should be autonomous. Devolution, of course, means working between national government and county government. And there should be very clear roles. Why should national government, wire money to county government, only dictate to them where to buy and when to buy? Where is the creativity?
But if it's me who is responsible for the money that I give you, through the allocations that the percentage that the counties are supposed to take, doesn't it also give me the right to tell you how to spend that money?
That's not your money.
Because I have to account for it.
That's not your money. You don't account for it. This money belongs to the taxpayers' money. This is not Ruto's money.
I use it's my money in the sense that it's from government.
When you come to the office of Auditor General, isn't it? The president does not answer questions regarding how he has money has been spent in counties. He's not answerable. Actually, the president he's not an accounting authority of anything. The president needs to offer leadership. Alan, let's not cheat ourselves, my brother. Go to the US. The president signs nothing. Have you seen a president signing anything? Do you know why? When, for example, if Trump was to come here, you'll see Trump standing behind, Ruto stands behind, and the CSS stand in the middle and they do the signing. Show me any document signed by a president to procure anything. It is not even allowed. According to the Public Finance Management Act, the president is not an accounting officer of anything. That's why in the State House, the State House controller. The president can actually they can just say how State House is misusing money, but misusing money on the president. But the president is not an accounting officer of anything. They are accounting officers in each and every ministry and parastatal. So the president should just keep quiet.
When we look at it from a flip side,
Yeah.
yes, the president is not supposed to force counties into procuring from a particular platform. But when we look at it from a flip side, because about 2 weeks ago we had the devolution conference, and we spoke here that over about 2 trillion has gone to the counties for the past 13 years, but nothing
4
much.
trillion.
4 trillion has gone to the counties for the past 13 years, but nothing much has been done, or nothing tangible can be shown for those for that 4 trillion. Don't you think that if then there is a procurement platform that is of course handled openly and in a manner that is accountable, isn't it a win for Kenyans?
No, Alan, let me tell you what. You should be able to take decisions that you will be answerable for.
Yeah.
Even us here, as Kenyans, we are citizens. We need to pay taxes, isn't it? Once we pay our taxes, what we want are services. In this government, there are national government projects, isn't it? There are county government projects. Why should you take a decision for a governor and you cannot be answerable for it? Now, if you tell me to procure equipment in this platform, isn't it? And then the equipment fails in my county. See, I'll have excuses for my failure. Alan, let us accept to give people their powers. You cannot be at home. Your work as a husband, today I would advise you, is to decide that everybody at home must be happy.
Yeah.
Secondly, is to facilitate their happiness. But you can't go and say, now we have to eat omena today, then tomorrow we have to eat sukuma.
Yeah.
That is now your wife's job. Or your wife also can just write a menu and give to the household. Now the person doing the cooking will cook them. You cannot be deciding like this, weka mafuta, 2 spoons. Now if the food is bad, will you blame your wife? Let us be honest. Allow people do their work. And let me come globally. There's a president of the Republic of the United States of America, isn't it? Have you ever heard him discussing about New York State? Have you heard him discussing about Virginia State?
But
why
of late he has been trying to take armies ice to those particular states.
No, you can say something. Even last time you see Andrew Cuomo, last time Andrew Cuomo, who was the governor of New York, was hitting with Trump head on during COVID, isn't it?
Even the Newsom, the governor of California right now.
But allow those states to make their decisions. Why do you want to be a prefect?
Yeah.
If there are simple things that the state should do, isn't it? They are not doing. Why are you going again to oversee 47 governors?
Yeah.
What is William Ruto's job? Let us be honest. As a head of state, the president needs to go and read Article 131, Article 132 of the Constitution of Kenya. It gives the job description of a president, isn't it? The president needs to give executive orders.
Yeah.
You see, when Trump became president, he signed
executive orders
75, isn't it? And he sits back. Now what he does is oversight. Are they happening or not? Isn't it? Why should we be talking about even how procurement should be done in the counties? It's a shame. According to me, it's a shame.
Yeah.
And then telling governors to resign. Now, the president took an oath of office to uphold the Constitution, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you look at the Constitution, is there any provision on how tendering can determine the term of office of a governor?
Absolutely none.
So then how can a president speak like that? He's misleading a country.
Yeah.
Because what are the provisions for resignation? Abductions which have been taking place is a provision. Is that a provision for resignation? Isn't it? Human rights violation. The death that has been done to the young people, that should kill him. The grand corruption in the government, he should take responsibility. You cannot be able to tell them to procure. But if governors violate the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, then it is that office that should deal with the governors. In fact, the order from the president violates the Public Finance Management Act. It violates Public Procurement and Disposal Act. It also violates the Mwongozo Act, which is the Act of Corporate Good Governance.
Yeah.
It violates the Transition Authority Act, isn't it? It violates the the County Government Act. It violates almost everything. Those words from the president. And I want to tell Mr. President, please, can you just choose one thing that you can do for the remaining 23 months? Instead of doing everything wrong, just choose one right thing you've done. And Alan, I'm sitting here. I know you might think I'm cynical. Can you tell me one good thing or one thing the president did that was right, compliant to the Constitution, and had an impact on Kenyans' life? Just tell me one thing, one single project, if you have it. Me, I'm still waiting because I don't see any. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. Because if you are good even to advise the county government on what to do, allow people to be creative. Go to India. Every state is different. You go to Bangalore. That state is the ICT world, end of the world. They do ICT. You come to places like Hyderabad, you come to places like Chennai, Tamil Nadu, those are the south of India. Yeah. They are very good with very good schools, isn't it? So you go to places like Mumbai, those are now the economic hub. Go to Punjab, that's now where the rice is coming from. Yeah. So allow every county to come out with their creativity, to morph on their own. Like if you see some counties say the land of opportunities, the land of champions, isn't it? Let them. So you want to buy a stadium for the lands of champions. Let them be what they are. You go to the US, there are states which are more concerned about manufacturing. You go to the corporate side of the world, is Georgia. Georgia state is very powerful. You go to California, that's now where the tech world is, isn't it? So allow everybody to be what they are. You go to Germany. And I think that, Alan, I think when you read the Solomonic economics book I gave you, I gave a scenario. Yeah. Do you know, if you are to go to Europe and bomb, let's say Paris, isn't it, and raise it to ashes, then the economic, the GDP of France will be negative by 8%. Yeah. You get me? Yeah. If you go to Italy and bomb Rome, isn't it, the economy of Italy will be negative by 18%, isn't it? If you go to Berlin and bomb, if you go to Germany and bomb Berlin, the economy of Germany as a whole will only shrink by 0.3%, meaning that there's a lot of decentralization of economy. Yeah. That's Solomonic, decentralized, isn't it? Yeah. Come to Nairobi. If you raise Nairobi to ashes, our economy will be 60% negative, isn't it? In fact, sorry to say so, if you bomb Upper Hill, Kenyan healthcare will be dead. Upper Hill. We have Nairobi Hospital. Yeah. We have Kenyatta Hospital, isn't it? We have Upper Hill Medical Center. Just look at it. Look at it, even the office Afia House. Yeah. If you bomb, if you want,
building,
yes,
the sharp building itself,
yes, in fact,
is lost.
It's too much concentration risk because we are concentrating everything around the presidency. Yeah. When you make the president too powerful to the point that they even determine where you go to the toilet, when you should leave the toilet, then there's no freedom. Freedom, our country is built on freedom. So what is our role is to determine what kind of political, economic, or social system should grant more freedom to citizens. And this is Solomonic. The fewer decisions, Alan, the more effective you are. Yeah. At home as a husband, if you make more decisions, your wife will be very unhappy. The less decisions you make at home, the happier wife you have. The more decisions you make, even kids are not happy. Like I can tell you, maybe if I extend, on Saturday, my son decides what does he want to eat for lunch only on Saturday, isn't it? But that is determined by if he behaves from Monday to Friday. So then he has to behave so that he can make his own decision. So if a child of 7, 8 years is allowed to make his own decision, isn't it? How about a governor? Some governors are 78 years old, isn't it? You want a decision made by a president? No. It's not working.
As we're winding up, I don't remember exactly the meeting, but there is a meeting that Raila Odinga, I think it was the meeting at State House, where Raila Odinga said that Kenya has a bit too many counties, and is Kenya or is government and the broad-based government sort of preparing for a referendum and people are just not aware just as yet?
Alan, first of all, what's the genesis of the 47 counties? The proposal was that we were supposed to have 14 counties.
Yeah.
But they moved to 47 because there's a way the government was looking for how some people can become president without ballot. So Raila was proposing that if we have 47 counties,
Yeah.
there's a way that the person who wins more governors would actually become president without being determined by the ballot. That's why the issue of these numbers went, but they were not making sense. These numbers were not making sense from the beginning.
Yeah.
And Raila was aware. So when Raila knew that when there are 47 counties, and now he was looking like, if I have Nairobi, I have counties in the coast, I have northeastern. I remember Raila has always won more governors. Actually, there are sometimes he won more governors than the ruling party.
Yeah.
So he knew that these governors now can become their own minor presidents who can declare him president. That was the initial thing. That's where the problem began.
Yeah.
But the things were supposed to be 14. Now, as an economist, I sat down with an economic formula and found out that Kenya can only have 11 regional economic blocks. And we should never, ever divide this country into tribal blocks. Tribal blocks doesn't end, because if you do tribal blocks, then now we start having clantism. Clantism is whereby within one county also here there are clans. Then if you go to Trans Nzoia, for example, one of the cosmopolitans, we have the Bukusu living there. We have the Baluya, the Luya communities are there, but also you also have the Kalenjin sub-tribes, and also there are some Luos there. Also Teso community and Kikuyus as well. So you can, once you divide a county into a tribal line, you don't even succeed. Like Nairobi, which tribe is in Nairobi?
None.
Which in Mombasa?
None.
Which one is in Lamu? So these things they won't help us, isn't it? But economic blocks are viable.
Yeah.
And when you divide things in economic block, you unite people. For example, if you go to Kisumu, there are some economic activities that unite all communities.
Yeah.
You see that? For example, you go to hotel industry, you find that the Indians have invested there, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Kikuyu community has invested there. The Luo community also invests there. The Kisi also invests by bringing bananas. So that can unite a community. Economy unites people, politics divide, tribes divide. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the issue. But let me now come to the intention. Why do you think Raila Odinga has all of a sudden become very clever and is thinking we need to reduce the counties and they are smaller? Then why do you think again Raila has started saying that the CDF should not be given to MPs? There's something very cynical about this thing. This is something they have crafted together with Ruto together.
Yeah.
What are they trying to do? These people signed the NADCO report, which they want to implement. But they know for some items in NADCO, Kenyans have said, if you dare, without a referendum, we will go after you. So they know that some of the things in NADCO reports are candidates for referendum. So they are trying to cheat Kenyans that they want to reduce the burden Kenyans are carrying by telling them we are willing to reduce the counties, isn't it? So that Kenyans can accept that idea of a referendum. Now, once you agree of a referendum, they are going to add very cynical clauses in that referendum. And most of the things there will be NADCO reports. They'll add their interest in the referendum. So for me, it's a no. The second thing is that him and William Ruto, they might be adding some clauses there so that they can avoid the 2027 election. Because they can add even clauses and increase the presidential term. Remember, there's time somebody came up with the issue of extending the term from 5 to 7. So those clauses will start coming. And once you have opened the Pandora's box, you will be cooked. As far as I'm concerned, these people cannot be trusted with amending the constitution. Raila Odinga was trusted before because we thought he meant very well for the whole country. But of late we have seen that he had an interest. William Ruto has lost all trust. And let me tell you, my brother, the last thing to be without is trust. Anything you do is going away. So as far as I'm concerned, they don't mean it. In fact, they're trying to dangle carrot to Kenyans to buy the idea But the problem they are stuck with is the NADCO report. Actually, they might even put some clauses to amend the constitution. Then they tell you, with the amendment done, these things cannot be in place by 2027.
Yeah.
So let's extend
The election.
2030,
Yeah.
so that Ruto has his 7 years of one term.
2030 is too wild.
Yeah, so we don't
2030 is too wild.
Yeah.
Professor, as we're winding up, what
Yeah.
one thing do you want people to do as they are going into this new week?
Are they going to?
As they are starting this new week?
Yeah, one thing that is very critical at the moment is that I want to urge Kenyans to really start reflecting on the idea of freedom. Because last week we talked about Kenyans need to start doing due diligence, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've heard about the word freedom.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
Freedom is coming tomorrow, and we are a freedom society.
Yeah.
I want you Kenyans to reflect on, can freedom actually exist? What do I mean by, first of all, is that when you have freedom for somebody, it means lack of freedom for the other. For example, a wolf has freedom, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lion has freedom to eat animals, isn't it? So it means gazelles are in trouble. So whom are you giving freedom? If you give these politicians freedoms and right, it means you lack freedom. Like you see now, the governor of, I'm referring to the governor of Kericho,
Yes.
there was evidence of corruption, isn't it? But then they said he has a right that even if he has committed a crime, he must be impeached the right way, isn't it? So he has gotten his right. But he's feeding on the people of Kericho. So Kericho cannot have healthcare because it's corrupt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Schools are in trouble. So when you give somebody freedoms and rights, you must know that in equal measure, you are taking a lot of freedom and rights from yourself. So could we again look and say, if freedom is a very good thing, isn't it? What kind of society, in terms of social, economic, and social system, can give the greatest freedom to the greatest number? But unfortunately, in Kenya, we have freedoms which is given to the smallest number, isn't it? To become very wealthy as much as they want. Imagine somebody is a billionaire, Alan, yet somebody cannot afford shoe.
Yeah.
Somebody cannot even go to hospital,
You
isn't
can be a
it?
billionaire as long as you've gotten it through business.
No. There is no business they are running, Alan.
That's exactly the
Alan,
point
let's
that
be
I'm
honest.
making. Yeah.
The largest business in Kenya is Safaricom, KCB,
Yeah.
Equity Bank, isn't it? If you look at the people who own the Safaricom, KCB, and Safaricom, and those companies, they are not as rich as William Ruto, isn't it? Like Raila Odinga, isn't it? Like the Kenyatta family, isn't it? They're not rich as Duale, they're not rich as Musalia Mudavadi, but Kenyatta family, you can say they have been there over the years, isn't it? But how can someone be a billionaire in 3 years? You know, Alan, do you know the highest salary in Kenya in the government is 2.1 million?
Yeah.
How many years does these people need to work to become billionaires? So it doesn't make sense. So what I'm trying to say is that this freedom we are talking about,
Yeah.
these rights, everybody has a right, isn't it? Now there's human rights, isn't it? Then you have women's right, then men's right. So long as
I've never heard of men's rights.
No, but you see, but I was saying, so long as you expand women's right,
Yeah.
men's right is in trouble.
Yeah.
Like when I was in Spain, sorry to digress a little bit, in Spain, men are completely powerless. You guys, men, you don't know. In Spain, when you are walking with your wife, you just say, si cariño.
Yes.
Men say, yes, my love. Yes, my love. Men just say, yes, my love, because if you separate with your wife, you're the most disadvantaged. For example, in this, if you live with your wife in a house, you have bought,
Yeah.
and she says you have violated her rights, the government asks you to leave the house
For her.
for her. So you can actually go live on the street, and this woman is free to bring another man to stay with her while you're outside there. Secondly, if you separate, she has rights to custody of children. You understand? And once she says that she feels you are threatening her life, she can even go and apply that you can never move around 200 meters next to her. So men just say, si cariño. So, you know, when the only time you don't say no, you say no is when they say, you don't love me. That's the only time you can say contra. But everything just say yes, yes, yes. So you are talking about rights being expanded. Spanish women had their rights expanded and ballooned, isn't it? So what we are talking about is that let us look for not giving people uncheckered freedom. And even our government has got right where they can close the road without telling you so that someone will pass.
Yeah.
Can you imagine they have freedom of right even to go on the wrong side of the road? So this issue of freedom, who is this you're giving freedom? And when you're electing your politician, know that you're giving them freedoms and privileges. Who are you supposed to give freedoms and privileges even to buy things on your behalf, even to determine your quality of life? And I want to say that if this freedom comes in, when these people take more money to enjoy the freedoms and rights they have, it means that money is taken away from people.
Yeah.
The more money the government takes to enjoy their freedoms and rights, the more citizens get nothing. Do you know that governors have rights to change their cars every 2 years, brand new, an engine of 3.5, isn't it? So when you give somebody freedom and right to own a car of 3.5 engine, being fully serviced and repaired by Toyota Kenya, they are having freedom so much, but for you have no even Panadol. And that person calls themselves CEC Health with no Panadol in hospital, but they have freedom to have their own car, they have freedom to have their own house, they have freedom and rights for their own salary, they have freedom and privileges to enjoy state lagas. So let us be honest, we need to form a country that will free more people than to free very few people. And I want to end by saying that that's why it is better to be a starved free man than to be a well-fed slave.
That's a bombshell. It's better to be a starved free man than a fed slave. That's the summation of this morning's conversation here with Professor Ogolla as we're discussing what is making headlines in the world of politics this morning. I've been your host, Alan Hubbard, and sign language interpreter, Chebiwat, and our guest every other Monday, Professor Fred Ogolla. Have a nice weekend, have a nice week, and Happy New Month.